Russia's war in Ukraine may be unfolding a continent away, but for communities like Parma, Ohio, with a Ukrainian-American community of nearly 43,000, towns like Kyiv and Mariupol, they are much more than names on a map. They are the homes they remember from childhood. CNN's Evan McMorris-Santoro went to Ohio to hear their stories.
My husband's entire family is there right now.
We have family that's in eastern Ukraine.
I have two friends who are in their 60s who said, we're taking up arms.
My brother, his family, my nieces, my nephew.
My girlfriend, that she's actually in Lviv right now.
I call them almost daily, and sometimes you actually hear the bombs.
Cleveland is nearly 5,000 miles from Kyiv, but in these suburbs, the war feels close.
These are a compilation of different...
Dr. Taras Malay is an internist, not a logistics expert. But these days, he's running a frantic effort to send plane loads of medical supplies to Ukraine.
In your daily life, how much of your time are you spending on this now?
18 hours. I mean, I'm usually going to bed like around 12, then I get up at about 5, because I can't sleep.
Why not?
Well, people are dying.
His fluent Ukrainian is put to use, taking supply requests directly from the embattled nation's Ministry of Health.
These oncological needs that they sent me.
And translating them into donations from local hospitals.
They're already asking for wound vacs. I don't know if you know what a wound vac
what is a wound vac?
Just so you know, once you have a gigantic wound and it's draining, and if it gets infected, you put this apparatus on there, and it keeps it clean and helps it heal. Well,
so if I were like shot or hit by shrapnel.
Correct. Yeah, more like shrapnel metal. And now they're just saying this. They need hundreds of them, and it's only been 2 weeks.
There's an urgency to every facet of life here now.
Top chemical weapons.
At Lydia Politaico Trans Family Bakery, buying pierogies is now a way to do your part.
There's that gentleman who's waiting for a dozen. Dozen pierogies from 8 a.m. until 5 p.m. And everything that we sell here on that day, all revenues are going straight to Plast through Ukraine. If you want to help to buy them ammunition.
She's in constant communication with a cousin who's 5 months pregnant and fled Ukraine for Poland, leaving her husband behind to fight.
This was just directly after the war.
There are thousands of homes here like this one.
That's my mom, that's my dad.
Where connections to Ukraine run deep.
What is it like to grow up as a Ukrainian American in this part of Ohio?
I mean, it's funny. I don't know any other way. We went to Ukrainian school every Saturday from age 5 to 17. You know, I didn't speak English until kindergarten. Cousins were not blood relatives, but you know, the people you went to church with, the people you were in organizations with, the people that lived up the street, that spoke the language, that knew the traditions.
How is it that there are so many Ukrainians right in this part of Ohio?
Well, the first Ukrainians came here during the Industrial Revolution. So a lot of people came here figuring, we'll save some money, go back and buy land. But inevitably, you know, you're here, what do you need? You need a church, you need a bakery, you need a butcher shop, you need a bar. And so there was infrastructure, collection down here.
In these stacks, a feeling for the history of this place. And these days, something else too. Deja vu.
So they were in the field from 1942 to about 1950.
This is the history of the last insurgency, and then maybe another one soon.
With each conflict, another wave of Ukrainian families came to Ohio. The mayor of Parma is already working with state and federal officials to once again make his city a home for the newly displaced.
Why would this be the right place for
Because Ukraine is a part of our fabric here. Our primary job here is to plow snow off the streets, fix chuck holes, but this international event that's happening, it's unfolding, and because of that deep-rooted connection with Ukraine, it's the right thing to do, and we're stepping up.
In the sanctuary of this church, people gather each night to pray for a quick end to this war. But in the same building, they're planning for a long fight, packing thousands of pounds of supplies to send to the motherland.
Why do you come here every night?
So I don't cry. I'm not watching the news when I'm here. I'm packaging, I'm running, I'm doing something.
For these Americans, daily life has been changed by an ongoing war half a world away.
So we don't go to sleep until like 2 in the morning because that's when the sun goes up in Ukraine. The sun goes up, okay, we can catch a couple hours of sleep and keep on going.
Because they made it through another night.
Yeah.
And Evan McMorris-Santoro is joining us now live. Evan, a very moving piece indeed. This area is obviously mobilized. What are they hoping to accomplish with their efforts, at least in the short term?
Well, I hope I was able to capture the urgency of what life is like in that part of Northeast Ohio right now. You know, the bake shop mentioned in that piece raised $10,000 just today that they're hoping to send to Ukraine to try and help with the war over there. These people, they know about the places on the map. They know about the people of the Ukraine, and they really hope that they can actually turn this tide, help this war get won, and Ukraine stay free. It's an amazing place to be. You sit there, and as you interview people, their phones actually ring with Ukrainians calling and saying, this is what's going on here right now, this is how I'm feeling right now. This war is right there in these people's lives every minute, Wolf.
Yeah, please thank them for all that they are doing. Evan McMorris-Santoro, thank you very much for that report. An important note to our viewers, CNN has also compiled a list of reputable charities. If you'd like to help Ukrainian refugees in need of food, water, and shelter, this is what you can do. Go to cnn.com/impact/impact. You will impact your world. It's very, very important.